Welcome to another episode of the Ink Happiness. Today I'm not going to show you a pen or talk about an ink. What I'm going to talk about is something that concerns all of us, and I feel that the sooner we start a discussion about this, the better. Now, why am I saying this? This is because just a couple of days back, I happened to meet some students of my alma mater, which is the St. Xavier's College in Calcutta. And these young men and women, these college goers, they're all fountain pen users. So, I was naturally very happy talking to them, discussing things. But one of the young ladies who was there in the group asked me two questions in fact. She asked me something that was of very great importance to all of us and which has got me thinking. Her question was simple. One, what is going to be the impact of AI on fountain pens, on the fountain pen industry in general, on handwriting per se? And secondly, what should be the response of the Indian industry, of the Indian fountain pen lovers, or fountain pen lovers everywhere? How are we going to respond to this threat? Of course, now, this is something that I did not have a ready answer with. So we were discussing, and from the discussion, certain things came up, certain very interesting points, which I wanted to share with you. Now, the AI deluge is coming. There's no stopping it. We cannot defer it. We cannot wish it away. We cannot hide our faces in the sand. It's a reality. It's going to happen. And in its wake, there will be huge job losses. Now, and when we are talking about this AI threat, we are talking about India, of course, but we are talking about the world at large, because AI is going to, this tsunami is going to rush through the world, around all nations, and in its wake, many people will lose jobs. Some in some countries, some developed economies, some more digitized economies, maybe the effect will be immediate, while in less developed countries where human resources, where the cost of labor is still cheap, is considered to be an advantage. It may be delayed, but it is going to happen. Now, if that happens, one interesting thing would be, your demographic dividend. You talk about your demographic, a young demographic population. Now, if you can't give them jobs, that will have a huge negative effect on the economy. But let's not get into it. Let's stick to fountain pens and inks. Now, the question that follows is, if we have so many job losses, whatever may be the number, whatever may be the industry segments that are affected, and industry segments will be affected in various different levels for obvious reasons. Now, how will it affect the use of fountain pens and inks? Number one, with more digitization, with more AI taking more and more jobs, less people will be writing. So the effect on all writing instruments, be that fountain pens or dot pens, is going to be a negative one, and fountain pens will also be affected because at least some people who use fountain pens in their job settings may lose their jobs and may not be in a position to use fountain pens. So that's one problem. The second problem is that because of more digitization, because of more, devices becoming more widely spread, the very act of writing will go down. So all these things will happen, and these are things that anyone can imagine. But this lady, while we were talking, there was another young lady and another young guy who pointed out something very interesting. They pointed out two things: that when the computers first came and we thought that the fountain pens will be, become redundant, the computers had in effect helped the fountain pen make a comeback, stage a comeback against the deluge of dot pens by bringing the scattered users together through the net, by making pens available from around the world, pens and inks available to the users through the net. When all these user forums and fountain pen clubs and things developed on the net, it had a very positive impact. So we don't know whether the AI revolution that's impending, that's on our face, is going to have that kind of an effect on fountain pens. So we don't know that. Number two is, and maybe because they are so young people and they're much more optimistic than old people like us, one of them said that, when people lose jobs, or even if they have jobs, and even if they have more time in their hands because of AI doing the repetitive things for them to a very large extent, they will have more time. And if they have more time, they may be tempted to use fountain pens to write. And the example that they gave was a very interesting one, was that of doctors. They say that, if the diagnostic part that a doctor does, a normal doctor, any doctor does, if part of that diagnostic job is performed by AI and performed much better than humans, for of course obvious reasons, then the doctor will have that much time. So they may be tempted to use fountain pens, and many doctors incidentally are using fountain pens these days. So if he is tempted to use fountain pens, then people like that, doctors, other professionals, they will use fountain pens, they will focus on their handwriting, they will, do something because of the lack of time. The pleasure of writing out that prescription may not be something that the doctors are enjoying today. And with AI assisting them, they may have that kind of, that marginal time to spend on writing, so which may give a fillip to fountain pen usage. And it was, definitely a very enlightening and very encouraging conversation that we had. And it was such a pleasure because these young people, they're all fountain pen users. They were talking about fountain pens. They were seriously considering in such terms. So I thought I should, discuss it, lay it down in this forum for all of you to pick up and put in your inputs, because this is something that's going to affect all of us. And if it affects all of us, it makes a sense that we discuss it, that we talk about it, and take this forward. So please write in your comments. Tell us what you think. Tell us how this AI is going to affect the use of fountain pens. Because it has been a struggle for me for the last, say, more than a decade, to bring back fountain pen into the reckoning, bring back pen and ink into the reckoning, to, spread the cult of writing. And it will be a big fight against AI. So please write in your comments and please tell us how to take it forward. So that's one thing. For the second part of the question, this lady asked me what is going to be the effect of AI on the Indian fountain pen world, and how is the industry going to respond to it. Now, as of now, to be very honest, I don't know if our industry is even aware, or if I shouldn't use the word aware, they must be aware, but I don't know whether they're thinking in these lines. I don't know whether they are taking this threat seriously, and I don't know whether they have a response ready. But it is time we woke up. But let me try and, lay down a couple of things that the industry should do. One, please read my lips as I say that the industry must have a body of its own. As of today, the industry does not have a pan-India body that represents its interests. Now, if AI becomes a threat, or whatever, Chinese dumping becomes a threat tomorrow, the response has to come from a unified body. It's not about, X company in Eastern India or Y company in Western India or Z in South India making feeble noises about the problems. It should be one voice, it should be one platform, it should come from one body. They must be in a position to make representations. And I'll take the example of GST here. GST is something that has affected the industry. Ink makers, pen makers, excise book makers, pencil makers, everyone. Different terms, different things. I'm not getting into that. But has the industry made a kind of representation to the government, the fountain pen and ink industry? I don't think so. Not that I am aware of, because I am not aware that a body of this kind exists. I will be very honest, and I am not trying to take credit. I tried to, get such a body going about 5 years back. Now, because of internal bickerings and because of people whose total contribution to the industry is less than zero in the negative, wanting to take charge of the thing, so I withdrew, because I did not, I thought I would not be adding any value to the industry by spearheading such a platform, which would end up being a place for petty politicking and bickerings. But I think now is the time for the industry, for all the manufacturers, to set right their differences, to rise above their narrow vested interests and come together for the sake of the industry, for their own sake. So that's another thing that I wanted to point out as a, for you guys to think about. The next thing will be Chinese dumping. I mentioned, and the way things are going, there's a very huge possibility that India and China will come together, and that restrictions will fall, and that fountain pens and inks will become easily importable. The duty structure will be, made less strict or less stringent. So, in order to fight against that, also you need a body. Now that body is not there. The third thing is the problem of size and resources. We have too many scattered units of very small and minuscule size, all mostly family owned, which are with one key person. I think it is time that, you get into a more corporatized, more formal structure, gather resources, invest, and instead of trying to make short-term gains, take a longer-term view of the industry and, take steps accordingly to take things forward. And this will again lead us to the next related point, which is that of R&D and designing. Our designs, I'm sorry to say, we have not done anything on, virtually nothing. I won't say not done anything. That's a wrong thing to say. We've done precious little in the field of designing and packaging and R&D and in getting our products at least the look and feel matching with that what is available in the global market. We need to work up our pricing. It's not merely about the lower end of the market, the bulk end where you sell cheap things and play the numbers game. You have to work up the scale of production, the scale of quality, the scale of pricing. You have to consciously make efforts to go progressively upper and upper so that, you can reach a position where you are able to command a better price. Your product has to match that price. The narrative around the product has to be first rate, and your brand has to have that kind of salience to sell your products. So these are all things that are facing us on as we talk now. And I think it is going to be something that we must discuss with all seriousness and take all the necessary steps to address the issue. Let me tell you again, my friends, AI is a real threat, and it will shake many things. And let's hope that in the rubble, our fountain pens and inks and writing is not, lost under a huge pile of rubble, that the destruction that is going to follow is going to heap upon the industry. Please think about it. Please discuss. Please write your comments, because this is a forum, and I want you people to write your comments so that people can discuss. And this is not something that that will hit the Indian pen industry alone. This will hit everyone, and in various different capacities, but everyone will be affected. So it is, humanity, the fountain pen brotherhood, the fountain pen fraternity, the ink lovers of the world must unite. And we don't have a whole new world to win. We don't have change to lose. It's a matter of our survival. And it is something that's very serious, and it needs healthy discussions. So please come, write your comments. Tell me what you think. Tell me whether you want me to discuss this kind of things more in greater detail. And we will certainly do that. I would also want, if you so desire, to bring in more guests, more experts from different fields to talk about this, to talk about the threats facing the Indian industry, and to find ways to take it forward. Thank you very much for being with me till the end. And namaskar. Thanks a lot.